¿Cómo estás? Buenos días, buenas tardes, wherever you are in the world. Hello! This is our next maths topic. I'm going to do a little video introducing the concept of capacity. Okay, in reception, we don't tend to do a lot of standard measurement, although I will introduce that near the end of the week. What we look at specifically is comparing and estimating. So in this video, we're going to look at comparing and introducing vocabulary linked to capacity. Okay, I've got 3 cups here. Oof, nearly. Okay, I would like you to look at all 3 and tell me, what do you think is the same? What do you think is different? Okay, there's quite an obvious difference. What do we think might be the same for some of them? I want you to have a think at home or speak to your adults. What do you think maybe be the same or different? Okay, some of the things at home you might have said is that all of them have got stuff in them. The difference might be that this one has cubes in it, this one has rice in it, and this one has water in it. But what I was hoping for, which some of you may have done at home, is that you might have used certain words like full or nearly full or half empty, okay? That's what we're looking for. So if I introduce those words, full, empty, nearly full, nearly empty, do you think you could tell me something else about these 3 cups in front of me using those words? Okay. So if we have a look at this cup here, you might say that it is full of water, or it looks full of water. We have got some rice here. You might say, what about it? If I hold it up a little bit more, you'll be able to see a bit better. I would say that is nearly full, okay? And then we've also got some cubes here. What might you say about the cubes in this cup? It's quite a discussion video for this one, but it's about you getting used to using this vocabulary in a way that suits you. Okay, so if we have a think, which ones out of these 3 cups do you think are full? Now, if I were to write some numbers down for you. Hey, sorry for the quick jump there in editing. My computer decided to start playing Katy Perry Raw in the background for no reason whatsoever. So, where we were up to is I've now numbered the cups in front of you. Which cups do you think are full? Or which cup or cups, do you think are full? Okay, which cup do you think is nearly full? Are any cups nearly empty? Are any cups empty? Have a think. Okay, now that we've had a little bit of a think, let's have a look, shall we? We have got a cup here. I would say that it was nearly full, okay, very nearly, just because there's a little bit near the top of that glass that I would say if it was full to the brim, it would come right up to the top. But if I was asking for a full glass of water, this would probably be it. And I'm just going to take a drink so it doesn't spill everywhere, okay? I would also say that there is another one that is almost full or full as well, and I would say that the cubes fill that cup. Okay, there are spaces in between, but I can't squeeze any more cubes into that cup. Okay, so I would say that that cup was full of cubes. Okay, but I have got rice here in my cup, and there's quite a sizable gap at the top of that cup. Okay, so I would say that was nearly full. The reason I don't say it's half full is because when we have half, you split something up right down the middle into 2 equal parts. So for example, if I were to put these cubes in half, I would split them down the middle, and then they've got 2 equal parts. Okay, so if this was half full, there'd be a little bit less, and I'll just take a few out. Okay, so that the half at the top is the same as the half that is filled with rice. Okay, so that is now half full. Okay, at home, when we're looking at capacity, all we're doing for the moment today is comparing. Okay, where you're using that vocabulary: full, empty, nearly full, nearly empty, half full or half empty, depends what kind of person you are, okay, with certain cups and certain things that have filled that cup. You could use different size cups, okay? So if I was to add this one to the collection, I would say that is an empty cup. So I've got a full cup, a half cup, half full or half empty, and an empty cup, okay? The next part of it is to then order these cups, okay? So we've now used the vocabulary. We've got full, half full, empty, and what I'm going to do with these ones is I'm going to take the few out so that's nearly empty, okay? So I've got nearly empty, half full, full, empty, okay? So now I want you to, at home, if you have got access to cups, is to find 4 containers and fill them like we have done here. Half empty, sorry, nearly empty, half empty, full and empty. Can you now put them into order? Okay, so the order we're looking for is which one is the most empty. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write empty on the top of this whiteboard, and then to the most full. Okay, so this links in very, very well with our size comparison. So in reception, we do look at size, but we look at cup pairing again, where we look at smallest to biggest and so on and so forth. So I now have 4 cups, and I have to put them from emptiest all the way up to which one is the fullest. So which one is the most empty, what comes next, and which one is the most full. Okay, so which order do you think we could put these cups into? Okay, I'm going to give you a little bit to have time to have a think about that. Pausing. Okay, now that you've had a little time to think at home, let's have a look back at the cups and decide amongst ourselves which order we could put these in. So, right down the bottom, we have to put which one is the most empty, the emptiest. So which one of my cups, 1, 2, 3, or 4, is my most empty? 1, 2, 3, 4. I would say that my most empty is number 3, okay? It's got nothing in it, it's actually empty. So I'm going to put that right down the bottom. Okay, now I have 1, 2, and 4 left, okay? Which one do you think comes next? So it's still near empty, but not very full. Which one do you think comes next? 1, 2, or 4? I would say it is number 2, because it's not half full like this, but it's not empty like this one, so it's nearly empty, okay? We have now got 2 left. We have got my half full of rice and we've got my cup of water. So which one do you think might come next? So we've got emptiest, nearly empty. What do you think will come next? 1 or 4? I agree. It would be number 1, okay? Because it's not quite full, but it's not quite empty. Okay, I'm just going to move this one up to the side, which means that our most full is this cup of water here, and I'm so proud of myself that I have not spilt it over yet, okay? So that is the next step in our capacity. You're basically looking at your objects and using the vocabulary to describe it. Is it full? Is it nearly full? Is it nearly empty? Is it completely empty? Then have a go at ordering those cups or containers, whatever you have at home. In the Google Classroom, we do have some sheets where it has a sorting activity where you look at full and empty, and it also, I'm pretty sure, if not I'll add it, some kind of ordering capacity as well. Tomorrow, we will look more at non-standard measurements. So how could you measure these cups, knowing which one is the fullest and which one is the emptiest. Then near the end of the week, we will look at Paco Rabanne, who is a Spanish fashion designer, and his fragrances, and maybe we can use our capacity knowledge to make our own perfume. How exciting! Okay, so that is just a quick whistle-stop introduction to capacity using vocabulary such as full, nearly full, half full, nearly empty, and empty. Okay, so at home, when you've got your containers in front of you, it doesn't have to be water. It can be rice, or it can be other objects that you have at home. It doesn't have to be cups, just it has to be containers, because the capacity is all about filling an area. Okay, so if you could fill all of this glass, it would be full. If you could fill this basket, that would be full. Okay, capacity doesn't necessarily mean cups, okay, but that's what we're going to use this week. Okay, so tomorrow we will look at how we could maybe measure them using non-standard measurements. Okay, and I will see you later. Adios.